It's April 2026. A cruise ship carrying 150 passengers sails off the coast of South America when a violent illness tears through the cabins. What starts as a simple fever rapidly escalates. Within days, patients are suffocating as their lungs completely fill with fluid. The medical diagnosis behind this sudden wave of death is a highly lethal pathogen known as the Hantavirus. Catching this virus is essentially a coin flip for your life. It carries a staggering mortality rate of up to 50%, killing half of everyone it infects. And despite scientists knowing about the pathogen for over 70 years, modern medicine is virtually defenseless against it. There is no FDA-approved vaccine and absolutely no antiviral cure. But the ultimate fear factor in this specific outbreak is how it spreads. The pathogen tearing through this ship is a unique strain of hantavirus, capable of jumping directly from human to human. A virus killing half its victims, lacks a known cure, and jumps directly between people, possesses every ingredient required to decimate the global population. Yet it hasn't. The explanation for that survival begins during the 1950s in the Korean War. After 3,000 soldiers fell ill with a severe mystery fever, virologist Dr. Ho Wang Lee traced the pathogen back to local field mice. He established the foundational rule of hantavirus. It is an entire family of viruses intrinsically tied to rodents. However, the virus doesn't simply jump into human populations on its own. It requires an extreme environmental trigger, a mechanism researchers finally understood during a deadly outbreak in the Navajo Nation in 1993. This satellite heat map shows severe temperature anomalies in the Pacific Ocean, marking a massive El Niño weather event in the early 90s that dumped unusually heavy rains across the American Southwest. That heavy rainfall acted as the first ecological domino. It caused a massive bumper crop of local vegetation, specifically creating an absolute surplus of pinyon pine nuts. With an unlimited food supply covering the forest floor, the local mouse population experienced an immediate, massive explosion. Millions of extra mice meant a drastically higher chance of rodents nesting near homes and shedding the virus in their droppings. When humans swept out those infested spaces, they inhaled the infected dust, directly resulting in a deadly localized cluster of infections. Typical hantavirus outbreaks operate on this strict sequence. They are highly localized ecological chain reactions, driven entirely by climate anomalies and soaring animal populations, rather than traveling contagions. Those biological rules were broken in 1996 in southern Argentina, introducing the specific strain from our predictive cruise ship scenario, the Andes virus. The Andes strain possesses a highly dangerous mutation. Out of the entire hantavirus family, it is the only one documented to break the rodent-only barrier and successfully transmit from one person to another. To pull off this human-to-human jump, the virus has to thread a very tight biological needle. A person infected by a rodent can only pass it to someone else through direct exposure to their bodily fluids. This demands prolonged, intimate physical contact, like sharing a bed or closely caring for a sick family member, for the virus to successfully jump hosts. And here is its ultimate handicap. Unlike COVID-19 or the flu, the Andes strain is completely incapable of airborne transmission. Catching it by simply breathing the same air in a crowded room is impossible. The extreme lethality of the Andes strain is severely restricted by its own biology. Without the ability to travel through the air, it relies entirely on highly specific, intimate conditions to survive. Because of these extreme limitations, the World Health Organization maintains that while an individual infection carries a severe death toll, the overall risk of a global pandemic remains incredibly low. The virus is choked out by a final biological bottleneck. Even when a person is infected, their transmission window typically lasts only a single day, right at the onset of symptoms. This incredibly brief 24-hour window naturally diffuses locked room outbreaks like our predictive cruise ship. If infected passengers remain in their cabins through that precise mark, the chain of infection breaks. Because it isn't airborne and lives out its contagious lifespan so quickly, standard isolation procedures are highly effective. Basic quarantine immediately suffocates the pathogen before it can move widely through a population. In reality, hantavirus exists as a preventable, silent threat, primarily lurking in neglected, enclosed spaces like old sheds and dusty warehouses where rodents thrive. When entering a high-risk rodent habitat, you must rely on physical defense mechanisms. That means strictly sealing any gaps around your home and wearing proper respiratory protection, like an N95 mask and gloves when cleaning up animal droppings. Without a biological cure, our safety depends on infrastructural defenses, ecological awareness, proper waste management,